Oke, selamat pagi semuanya. Good morning. Okay, so for today we are going to have an info session for IELTS and also a trial class. Before that, we'll start with the introduction first. Okay, so for the info sessions, it will be conducted by me, and also for the trial class, it will be the IELTS teachers, Pak Mustaqim. Morning, Pak. Okay, he has been here with us. Yeah, so selamat pagi, Pak. How are you doing? Hello. Okay. So yeah, let's start with the introduction first. So this is my name. Yeah, Muhamad Haristo. I'm here as the head department of language and humanities in Wardaya College. Also, I graduated from University of Indonesia and also IELTS and SAT teacher of Wardaya College. Yeah, also English teacher in PKBM SMA Wardaya. Okay, so before we go into the trial sessions or the trial class, I will explain a little bit about IELTS, and also I will give new information about our class, new class. Yeah, so please stay. Yeah, so yeah, IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System. Yes. Yeah, basically it's to test your proficiency in English. Yeah, especially if you want to take a scholarship. Yeah, not just scholarship, but also if you want to take, if you want to work abroad. Yeah, so you will have to take the IELTS test as well. Yeah, okay. Yeah, as you can see, it is managed by IELTS, yeah, IDP, IELTS Australia, British Council, and Cambridge Assessment English, and was established in 1989. Yeah, and also it's accepted by 11,000 organizations and in 1,600 locations. And yeah, approximately there are 140 countries offer the test. Yeah. Okay, so these are the skills. Yeah, we have 4 skills for IELTS. Yeah, speaking, writing, listening, and reading. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, these are the types of IELTS. Yeah, what's the difference between general and academic? Yeah, so if you want to work abroad, yeah, you can take the general training, and if you want to study abroad, you can take the academic. Yeah, so these are the difference. Yes, basically, yeah, it's just a little bit difference. Yeah, so for the listening, approximately the same, and also reading. Yeah, so the writing for academic, yeah, you have to explain a little about chart, yeah, and also essay. Yeah, for the writing and general training, you just have to write letter. Yeah, so that's the difference, yeah, in writing. Okay, so yeah, this one, if you want to take the test, yeah, there are computer or paper based. Yeah, so if you need the results as soon as possible, you can take the computer based. Yeah, it's what's it? The result will be available earlier than the paper based. Yeah. Okay, so these are the teacher. Yeah, so we have Pak Vincent. Yeah. Yeah, his IELTS score is 8.5, and we also have Muhammad Mustaqim. His IELTS score is 8. Yeah. Okay, so this is the new class, yeah, IELTS preparation program schedule. So the package will be, there are 2 packages that we are offering. Yeah, we have 2 months package and 4 months package. Yeah, so for 2 months, it's approximately 40 hours, and for 4 months, approximately for 80 hours. The schedule will be on Tuesday and Thursday, and it will start this early March, yeah, the 1st of March, Tuesday, and then for it will be twice a week, yeah, twice a week. And for Tuesday, we will have writing task 1, yeah, and listening, and it will be in 2.5 hours. And also for Thursday, it will be writing task 2, reading and speaking, and also it will be 2.5 hours. Okay, before the class, yeah, you have to take the prediction test. And the test consists of listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Yeah. Approximately the duration for the prediction test 3 hours. Yeah. And the fee for the prediction test is 150,000. Is promotion during Wardaya College birthday celebrations. Yeah. So that's promotion from Wardaya. And the schedule for the prediction test, it will be from Monday to Friday at 2 p.m. But it's by appointment. Yeah. For your information, if your score is let's say 4, yeah, you have to take the general English first, yeah, to increase your English skill first, and then you can take the IELTS test once you finish with the general English. Yeah. Okay, I think that will be all for today. For me, I mean. So next one we have the trial class with Mustaqim. The screen is yours. Okay, if you have any questions, you can raise your questions to the chat column. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, again, thank you, Mas Haristo. That's quite brief explanations, and I think that's really informative for today's sessions. Okay, so before I start, just let me just briefly introduce myself. My name is Muhamad Mustaqim, as you can see on the video there, on my name. And I've been teaching IELTS for nearly 10 years, and today I'm going to share my experience to you. So before continue, can the participant here put their videos on so I can see who actually are here and be present? Okay, I assume you have difficulties accessing the camera, so I'll just proceed then. Okay, now I'm going to start our mini lesson today. Hold on, I'm going to share my screen. I'm preparing that one. Hold on, give me a second. And yes, okay, everyone. Let's just kick off our today's session. Today's session is about IELTS, and just kick off. Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to skip this part because Pak Haristo has introduced this really well. I'm not going to go again because I believe basically you are already familiar also with this format. Okay, I see some chat box. Okay, that's from that's from the host. Okay, I'll just proceed. Okay, again, so I will pass this because Pak Haristo has covered this one. Now, more specifically, because our time today is quite limited, I want to narrow down the aims of this today's sessions. I want to be effective. I want to be aimed to the direct point. So why writing task 1? We are going to cover writing task 1 again. So I've seen during my time teaching IELTS, I've seen a lot of students who are able to score 6 or 7 in reading and their listening in their respective skills, but somehow they fail to score relatively the same points as the writing, their reading and listening. They cannot really score, let's say, 6 in their writing, more especially writing task 2. Okay, this is not that their English is bad, because but it's about how actually you deliver your writing, how you structure your writing, and etc. Because that is why I take this quite short amount of time to focus on writing task 2. Um, Another point is that in writing task 2, again, as you know, writing task 2 is worth double than writing task 1. So let's say writing task 2 is worth up to 70%, nearly 70% of your total score in writing. Okay, what do we have actually in writing task 2? In writing task 2, you have an opinion, a problem, or an issue to discuss. Here, you are presented an opinion. Then you have to you have to argue and justify for your opinion. So you have to select between one or two what you think of that opinion. Then, of course, you have to defend. You have to back up your thesis statement, your idea. Why do you say that? Why do you select that options? Again, present and justify your opinion. You have to have a clear sample and samples that are also relevant. You have to have a sufficient number of ideas to support your opinion. Sometimes you are also have to evaluate and challenge arguments or idea presented in the task. At the same time, sometimes comparing and contrasting evidence or opinion are also there. These are some of the quite common questions in writing task 2. Either one, uh, you have to again support your argument with sufficient number of ideas and with examples and etc. Lastly, sometimes you are required to give certain solutions. You have to present the solution to a specific problem presented in the test. This everything is basically what you have in writing task 2. This is quite general. Again, because our topic is our time is not that long, so I'm going to go proceed on certain points that I think is essential for writing task 2. Okay. Again, how do you score? How can you score 6 or 7, basic 6 or above? And then you have to know what you are going to be assessed, how your writing is being assessed by the grader. So mainly you have 4 criteria: task response, coherent and cohesions, lexical resource, grammatical range, and accuracy. Okay. Again, I'm not going to go through these 4 criteria in details because to save our time. Again, I just want I have these quite simple questions that basically can answer these 4 criteria. Okay. Those 2 simple questions are: do your answer addresses all the points in the questions? Okay, let's say you write 250 words. That's the amount of number, the least number of words you have to write later, 250. Let's say you write 260. But again, my first question is: do your writing addresses all the points in the questions, or you just simply write without any points there? So this is one point. The number of words is not that important, but whether you address the points in this I can go with the task response. You have to answer the questions, not just write anything, but you have to address, you have to answer the questions. Okay, and let's say you write 250 words already, 260 words, and the next question is whether the grader can understand it, whether let's say common people, let's say for me or your friends or your other teachers, not your English teacher, understand your writing. So is writing easy to understand? That's the second point. That's the second questions. So these 2 sample questions are questions that you need to think of this actually are really basic. And again, because this is really basic, this is fundamental, this is essential. So you have to cover. Do you address all points in the writing task? And is it okay? Is it to understand your writing? Okay, this is what do you write matters. How do you write also matters. These are two simple questions that you have to think about in general about your writing. Okay. Oh, what's this first impression? I'm not sure why this is here, but let's discuss a bit. First impressions. What do you think? Does first impression matter, or it is first impressions? What's so point? What's so important about first impressions? But some people say first impressions make uh, up to 70% on how people have their perceptions, how people see you. But some people say a first impression is just first impressions, but you have to perform well in later. It's not just giving good impressions, but you have after a first impression is only like the first 5 minutes, or it's not that important. So again, I'd like to ask you, I'd like to invite you into typing on the chat box. Please type on the chat box and whether you say first impression. Does first impressions matter? I want to type yes if you think first impression matters. I want you to type no if you think first impression is not important. Okay, I'll give you 3 minutes from now. So type yes if you think first impression is important, and write no if you think first impression is not important. I'll wait 3 minutes from now. I'll have the timer. I'm still waiting for the response. Yes or no? Does first impression matter? Yes or no? I'm still waiting for your participations. Just type. Maybe Pak Aristo can help give me. What do you think, Pak Aristo? Is first impression important? What do you think?
Yes, I think it's very important because, yeah, well, first impression is really affecting, and then it will, judging our, yeah, evaluation about anything. So yes, I would say first impression matter.
Okay, thank you, Paristo, for your participation. Yes,
Anytime.
Paristo says it's important, but what are those things? Who do we have here? Okay, so I have say here probably Irene. Irene, what do you think? Do you want to type or do you want to say it orally here? What do you think? First impressions, is it important? Is it no? Okay, yes. Irene, thank you. Maxwell Lee and Naomi, what do you think? Just type yes or no. I'm still waiting for 1 more minute. Okay. Yes. Okay, that's from Naomi. I have here also Arjo. Then Arjo, Puspita, from Rebecca Trio, Vincent, Vincentia, Unita. Okay, I believe time's up. Okay, so so I have already here 3 answers here. So let's say okay, most people or 100% of people here, or I cannot say that. Okay, say there are more people here who say who say first impression matters, first impression is important. But what does it to do with our writing today? What does it to do with our session today? Okay, first impression, when to make first impressions? Of course, it is when we meet somebody for the first time. That's the first time, the first few minutes when you meet somebody, when you meet someone new. Okay, let's back to your writing. In your writing, let's say you have 250 words. You have 5 paragraphs. Okay, and if I were the grader, in which part of your writing I would read your writing first? Is it your conclusion? Is it your body paragraph? No, it's your introductions. So yes, in your introductions, that's the point where you have to make a good first impression. Yeah, in your introduction. Okay, it's not only about the first impressions that you have to make. Say, Pak Haristo says this is defined on how certain people value you or see you and how see you, but also the introductions. Why introduction important here? Because the introduction tells the reader what you're about to write. Okay, so by having a good introduction in your writing, we hope that the grader will understand what you are about to write. At the same time, you can show that you understand the question. Oh, that is the statement. That is the questions. You know what you're going to write about. That you master this thing. Have sufficient knowledge of this. This also show you how well you are in your this certain topic. And then at the same time also you can write about things or points that you're going to cover in later in your body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, or body paragraph 3 if you have 2 body paragraphs. So it can tell, it shows things or points that you're going to write later in your body paragraphs. And and at the end, at the very end of the introductions, we talk only about the introductions here. Okay, by having a good introductions, it shows the grader that okay, you can plan well here. Who disagree that planning is not important? Who disagree that planning is important? Sorry. Plan, always make plan. Okay, let's say if you want to build a new capital city, let's say Indonesia is having its new capital city there in Borneo Island in Kalimantan. Okay, do you think the government make plan? Of course. If you want to build a new tower, a new building, do you need to make a plan? Yes, you need. Indeed, planning is really important. It is essential in the way you write later on. Your plan defines how well later you write. Okay, a bit more information about planning here. This is there is general steps whenever we deal with writing IELTS. Especially this is in writing class 2. Okay, when the first time you encounter the questions, the first minute, so you have to analyze questions. What questions? What is the questions? What points are being covered? That what points I have to address? Okay. Because that again is being graded. You have to, your writing has to answer the questions. So you have to analyze what actually in the question is. Okay, what points to address, what points to write. Okay, after that, after noticing that, after understanding what the question is, okay, then you have to brainstorm ideas. For ideas, if you agree on something, for example, So why do I agree this? Why I support this? Let's say, important. Sorry. Let's say, one example. If the internet has more benefits than disadvantages, I say yes, I do agree with that statement. But why? So that means you have to think, okay, if I said yes, the internet has a lot of benefits, but what benefits? Why I do agree that internet is more beneficial? Why? So you need to brainstorm that ideas. You need to get as many ideas as possible, and by having those ideas, then order them, plan them, put them in a sequence that easy to understand, put them in neat, in a in a well structured. Your bahasa teacher might call this as kerangka karangan. That actually you need to do here to make your plan. By having this really good plan, you can write later. You can spend just oh yes, okay, your time is only 40 minutes. Is it worth planning? Of course, yes. As matter of fact, these first three stages, okay, I would say spend up to 10 minutes here, seven to 10 minutes here. Okay. Spending less, you might miss any details, or your plan is not that detailed, so you cannot really follow your plan. But spending over than 10 minutes, that's gonna be quite risky, because you have only sufficient you have only limited time. You have only 40 minutes. So spending up to 10 minutes, approximately 10 minutes in the first three steps here is important. It's worth trying. Okay. And then after planning, again, what you need to do is actually transferring your plan into sentences, your plan into paragraphs. So basically, when your plan is ready, okay, up to 60 or 70% of your writing is done. You need to only to transfer your plan into sentences. Let's say the first three steps is 10 minutes, then you write up to 25 minutes. That means you have approximately 35 minutes. Then with that, the last 3 to 5 minutes get spent to check your writing. Check whether you missed any details, whether you miss any ideas, any important ideas or important details, any examples that you need actually that is essential to support to make your writing complete. And of course, check for your spelling and your punctuation and grammar. Back to planning and writing your introductions. So here, when you write your introductions, okay, I have really good suggestions. I have really good sentence here. Don't even write a word before you plan. So when you have these introductions, okay, make sure you write these introductions when you have your plan already. Okay, let's talk about your introductions. As we have discussed here, introductions. A three to five sentences are approximately generally a good number of sentences in the introduction. Okay, having fewer than three sentences, let's say two sentences, it is highly likely that you miss some important points. You cannot really cover everything in just like two sentences. But having more than five sentences, you may go off topic. So you don't want to do that. Either one, you don't want to go off topic or you miss important points. So what you need is just sufficient information in your introductions. 3 to 5 sentences, or you can say 4 sentences. Basically, that's taking the average. 4 sentences would be enough here. And what to consider in the introductions? I have 4 questions here. in your introduction later, I want you to cover these four questions here. What is the topic? What is the question? What is your opinion? And lastly, what are your reasons? So again, cover these four points in your introductions. Some believe that topic and questions are generally the same. Why I separated them? The topic and questions are the same. The question is about the internet, so the topic is about the internet. No. So topic isn't the same as questions. Topic is a general idea of what the question about, while questions is what you are asked to do. Okay, to make this clear, this one, have a look at these sample questions. Some people think that cities are the best places to live. Others prefer to live in a rural area. Okay, if we consider my questions before on the topic and the questions, are they the same? No, they are not the same. What is the question here? The question is about choosing between living in a city or in a rural area or in a village. But what is the topic actually? Yes, the topic is about choosing where to live, a place to live. The topic, choosing where to live. The question is about city or village. Got it? Yeah, very good. Now, before going there, I have common questions covered in writing task 2 here. Common questions, generally, they will give you 2 options and you have to choose between A or B. When choosing option A, then you have to argue, you have to support your argument with sufficient ideas and examples or reasons. Okay. Another common question is that asks you to compare and contrast. The compare and contrast, that means to mention both opinions, to both option A or option B. But again, even though you are asked to compare and contrast, you are actually asked to be not standing on both sides. So you have to lean which outweigh which one. So option A is good, option B is also good, but which one is good? Which actually is your decision, which your opinion? You have to select either A or B. Say both are good, but I think A is better. So who doesn't like chocolate and ice cream? Okay, let's say I love a chocolate and ice cream, but when there is an option, okay, I have an ice cream and I have a bar of chocolate, then I cannot take both. One is for me, one is for you. So which to select? So I have to decide. Okay, for this time it's really hot today, so I think I'll take the ice cream just to cool myself down, right? Okay, so again, let's go to these introductions to make everything clear. Again, we have a sample questions here. Some people think that cities are the best place to live, and others prefer to live in a rural area. Write your opinion on this, give reasons for your answer, and include any relevant examples, blah, 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 and your experience. Okay, again, my points lay up previously in your introduction. What is the topic we have discussed about this? What is the question? What is your opinion and your reasons? Say, do you live in a big city in Jakarta? I think most of you will prefer living in big cities then. But for those who live in rural area, in village, they enjoy things and they enjoy village life, of course. So you may either one. You may choose living in a city or living in a rural area. Okay, again, please remind me what the topic is. Choosing where to live. Correct. What about the questions? Yes. City or village? That's simple. Opinion. City or village? Okay, let's take city. Why city? Reasons. List down. One, two. Two reasons. Okay, I'm going to show you a simple introduction here. A simple introductions for these questions. Okay. As you can see here, let me read this one. Deciding where to live is one of the most difficult decisions one have to make. Some people believe that a village is a better place to live in, while others opt for a city life. In my opinion, there are several reasons to believe that cities are the best places to live. This is due to the fact that cities provide more facilities and opportunities for a better living. Now let's connect this with my previous points. My first point, what to consider in your introductions. I've looked at my very first sentence. Deciding where to live is one of the most difficult decisions one have to make. It's quite general. It's true for everyone. I don't mention any specific details. Just the topic today is about deciding where to live. That's it. As simple as that. Okay, I go really general in my first sentence because I cover only what the topic is. I'm answering that questions. Then I go narrow and a bit more details to the question. What actually the question is? What actually our writing will be about? Some people believe that village is a better place to live in, while others opt for a city life. So village or city. So from really wide or general sentence, deciding where to live, I narrow it down into a village or a city. So I limit the topic. Again, the third questions afterward, again, I go wider, I go general. In my opinion, there are several reasons to believe that these are the best places to live. Okay, this is my topic sentence. This is my thesis statement. My opinion, my thesis statement. My thesis statement here, this is clear. This is quite bold. This is really clear way to say your opinion. In my opinion, you have from my point of view, you have I believe, and etc. You have also other ways, but why make it subtle? Make it really clear that this is your opinion. I choose for this one. Make it clear. Make the grader understand what your opinion is. And after that, show, okay, you know my opinion already. Now let's go again after going general, be more specific. In this writing later, I will write about 2 points to support my arguments. But I'll talk about facilities and I'll talk about opportunities that cities offer. So again, let's summarize. The first sentence is my topic, is what is the topic. I go really general. Then I go specific to what the question is. I limit the options. Then I'm writing about my opinion, general. There are several reasons. What reasons? It's not clear yet. It's just reasons. I have several reasons. What reasons? No, it's just reasons. So that's quite general. After that, I limit my reasons into only 2: facilities and opportunities. So from go wide, you go narrow. Wide, narrow. You limit that. again, this is quite simple introduction. We have options to make this into really not to improve this basically. Okay. So I have also this one. I say previously I mentioned about having 3 to 5 sentences, or you can aim for 4 sentences. Here I combine. Have a look at my last 2 sentences. So I delete some words and I combine my third and fourth sentences. Sorry. In my opinion, cities are the best places to live due to the fact that they provide more facilities and opportunities for a better living. Get here. You may have shorter introductions. You may lose number of words, but not points. Obviously. Why? Because by having this third and fourth sentences combined, it shows the grader that okay, you can make really good sentence, quite long one, and this is complex sentence. You combine 2 parts, you combine 2 clauses here. Okay, and I put the they in italic. Yeah, I can also I tell the grader that I can also vary my words instead of mentioning of the word cities again. Okay, I just write they. They is pronoun for cities, right? So I don't repeat words. And here, for example, due to the fact is also a good expression actually to have in your writing. But if you want to, if you're not familiar with these expressions, you can use because. You say, in my opinion, cities are the best places to live because they provide more facilities and opportunities for a better living. Yes, you can say that. But would you use because? Later, there are thousands or hundred thousand of people or students are taking IELTS. And a lot of them, of course, use because. You don't want to be the same with them as them. Okay. So what you need to do to stand out, to say due to instead of because, that gives you extra point there. Okay. Sorry. That closes my presentation on writing introductions. A small part, but again, this is important. Making good. Now let's review. 2 simple questions. What are 2 simple questions about your writing, your off-floor or writing task 2? I'm not going to be hard. I'm going to show you this one. Two questions, 2 simple questions. Do you address all points in this question? Does your writing address all points in the questions? The next question is your writing easy to understand, easy to follow? For the grader, of course. Next question. What about the length? Please remind me. How many sentences? Is it 3? Is it 7? 3 to 5 sentences. You can aim for 4 sentences probably. Yes, like I said, the average 4 sentences with those sufficient ample number of sentences, you can cover everything. You can cover what the topic is and blah 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 blah. Okay, that comes to my next point here. 4 questions for your introductions. What 4 points you have to include in your introduction? Topic. What else? Yes. So in your introductions, again, you have to cover what the topic is, what the question is, and it has to be clear. Your opinion, which do you choose? What is your opinion and reasons? Again, you can combine here, you can combine topic and questions uh, that enables you to show again to make complex sentences. You can combine your opinion and reason, just like what we did before. You have less number of words, but then you show how complex your sentences are. That's also another point, right? Okay, now it is your turn. So I have here one questions. Many people say that the only way to guarantee getting a good job is to complete a course of university education. Others claim that it is better to start work after school and gain experience in the world of work. How far do you agree or disagree with this with the above views? Give reasons for your answers and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. Write at least 250 words. Okay, so I'm going to give you a link. Sorry, hold on. I'm going to give you a link in the chat box. If you click on the link, have you got the link, everyone? Sorry. Yes, now you have the link. Oh, I have text you. Okay. If you click on the link, you will be directed to hang on for a second. Okay. Now, if you have the link, you'll be directed to this. Hopefully, you can see my screen, everyone. Many people say, see, here at the bottom right, you have plus here. Spend half 5 to 10 minutes, and then think of what actually the topic is. And underline keywords. What actually the keywords here? What's the questions? Then what's your opinion? And what ideas you have to support your argument. Okay. Click on this plus sign, and clicking you will be able to write here. For example, so write your introduction here. And after writing here, you can publish it there. Okay. Okay. The time flies. This 9:51. The actual time is actually 9:45. So I think I will close my session here, but I'm still waiting for your response there. Again, I will give you feedback if you write there. So please write your introductions covering what we have been discussing here just within 30 minutes. Write about your, write your best introductions. Okay, I'm waiting for the next 15 minutes here. And I think I will close my session for now. Thanks very much, everyone. Now I will give the time to Haristo again back. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Haristo, please.
Thank you very much, Pak, for your session today. So it was very excellent and very clear. For now, we are going to open the Q&A sessions. So if you have any questions, you can raise your questions to the chat column. Before that, Bu Tina, probably want to add some. Okay. Once more, please raise your questions to the chat column if you have any questions.
Pak Haristo, I have two questions coming in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, from probably they mistaken with my direct DM message. Okay. Actually, there are one question. Perbedaan IELTS dan TOEFL, Pak. Ini dari pertanyaan pertama adalah perbedaan antara IELTS dan TOEFL. Kemudian ada pertanyaan tentang may I join your class this month? Boleh tidak saya bergabung dan kelas? Kemudian bisa dijelaskan lagi kapan Wardaya bisa memulai kelas? Dan kemudian mungkin sebelum itu ada pertanyaan tentang perbedaan TOEFL dan IELTS. Oke, terima kasih.
Yeah, thank you very much for your questions. So yeah, perbedaan untuk TOEFL dan IELTS. So if you want to take IELTS, usually, yeah, just the difference is only for the countries. Yeah, usually IELTS is for if you want to study to Australia, yeah, or England. Yeah, usually they require you to take IELTS. Yeah, and also if you want to, some countries like US. Yeah, they require you to take a TOEFL test. Of course, the difference, yeah, the component or the module of the class. Sorry, the module of the program. Yeah, TOEFL consists of structure, listening, and reading. Yeah, and they will ask you to do the interview process as well. Yeah, so they will be speaking test as well for TOEFL and also for listening for IELTS. I explained before, yeah, it consists of speaking, writing, listening, and reading. Yeah, so that's the different. May I join your class this month? Yeah, sure. Yeah, so there are two questions. Yeah, may I join your class this month? And untuk join kelas IELTS, apakah ada placement testnya dulu? Yes, there will be a placement test. That consists of 4 modules: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. And you can, for registration or for information, you can WhatsApp to 0818-959-094. And it will be for more information on registrations. And also, yeah, okay. As I explained before, if your result, yeah, for the placement test or for the prediction test is not fulfill our requirements, yeah, of course, you will have to take the general English program first. Then after that, you can take the IELTS program in Wardaya. Okay, any more questions? Actually, is it enough? Actually, I studied English for A level. Is it enough for take IELTS? I suggest you take the prediction test first. Yeah, then we can set whether you are qualified to take the IELTS test or TOEFL test first. Yeah, the actual one. Yeah, the actual one. Yeah. So I suggest you take the prediction test first in Wardaya. Yeah, so you just pay 150,000 for the prediction test. Yeah. Ada masa berlaku nggak untuk IELTS? Iya. If I'm not mistaken, it's 2 years ya Pak. The certificate is valid for 2 years, right? Yeah. Most welcome, Pandu.
Yes, 2 years.
2 years, yeah. Okay.
Why taking placement test is important, because there is actually transferring scores in, let's say you have taken TOEFL and you score like 78 or 80. That's relatively high in TOEFL IBT though, but there is no actually it doesn't guarantee you getting 6 or 7 in IELTS, because they ask different and they require different approach. So again, taking simulation test, taking prediction test is one of the best way to say in which level you are now at the moment. Yeah, sorry to interrupt, Pak.
Yes, no problem. Bila sudah pernah melakukan prediction test tempat lain, apakah bisa diterima atau tetap harus ambil? Okay, maybe you can inform when was the last time you took the prediction test, Rehan? Well, I suggest you take the prediction test in Wardaya, yeah, because sometimes the results, if you took it too long, well, the results may be not, what is it? What should I say? Yeah, it won't be effective, yeah, if you took the test a long time ago. So better to take in Wardaya, yeah. I mean, the result might be represent current conditions. That's what I mean. Yeah, represent current condition. So I suggest you take the prediction in Wardaya. Okay, one more questions. Is there any questions before we end the session?
Just probably one question, Pak. Please remind us when actually we can start to study IELTS in Wardaya. When in the actual or the fastest date I can join the class?
Yeah. So because now it's Saturday, so there will be a promotion test next week. I mean prediction test next week. Yeah. So the class will start next week on 1st of March at 4 p.m. up to 6:30 p.m. Yeah. So if you register for the program, yeah, you can start the class in March. Yeah. So please contact our administration in Wardaya College. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for your presence. Okay. Also, we have a webinar now at 10 to 10:55. Yeah, it's from Asia Pacific University of Technology and Innovation, Malaysia, with the theme "The Importance of Big Data and Actuarial." Yeah, so the speaker will be Mr. Thomas Tanama, yeah, Senior Regional Manager, Asia Pacific University. Yeah, so please click the link, yeah, in the chat column for registrations. Okay, if there's no more questions, thank you very much for your presence. Pak Hakim, thank you very much for your time.
Most welcome, Haristo.
Yeah, time. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.